Hello and welcome back to Quantum Suicide. On the last episode we got another ending which resulted in Beatrix's death, leaving her casualty as well as obviously Sora's, who's we haven't changed for a while, and Shizuka's. I believe we just finished the conversation we had with the captain about the black hole, and I'm assuming in some way it should change now, since this, I believe, well, we should check the timeline, but I believe this is the last. Shizuka's death, chapter 2. Beatrix's death. Alright, so this should be the last timeline, at least for the male side, and then I guess we have to start the whole... Well, I guess we can go back and figure out what these are. But this should be the last, timeline for the male character, for the male avatar, I guess. So, sweet science, my bed was warm. I had things I needed to do, but it was getting harder every day to get out of bed. Why should I even bother? Everyone here was probably going to die before I found a solution. No, just not the captain.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? I think this is the first time we've had Katashi specifically visit us. Katashi's voice crackled into life over the room's intercom. Katashi?
The one and only. May I come in?
Yes, please. Oh yes, of course. My door beeped as it unlocked, and Katashi sauntered into my room.
Good morning, Sleepyhead. Still in bed, I see.
It's nice and cozy. Would you like to join? I did get a chance to respond before Katashi hopped onto my bed and sat right next to me. Thank you for joining us.
I came to thank you for yesterday.
I believe, if I recall correctly, we cheered up Katashi yesterday in the game. I wouldn't know. I haven't recorded this game in a while. Huh?
I was in a pretty rough spot, and you cheered me up, so...
I'm assuming you would have done the same. Don't worry.
Thank you.
No bother. I blushed. No problem. I could see you looked a bit off. It's the least I could do.
Well, I'm here to return the favor.
In the form of cake? Huh?
You can't lie to me, kiddo. I can see you're having trouble. And besides, it's like 10 a.m., and you still aren't up doing science and stuff.
To be fair, I'd still be asleep at 10 a.m. Science and stuff. You're an engineer. You make it sound so foreign and weird.
I'm an agricultural engineer. We're not like your mainstream sciences. We don't know all the fancy words, but we have much better people skills.
That voice acting, really reading the words right off the screen. Yeah, I can see that. I elbowed Katashi playfully.
So, what type of science is on the menu today?
Pocket watch science. Just regular kind.
Well, do you need any help? Or would you like to come and bake some goodies with me to take your mind off things?
Oh, it's 50-50. We could make progress with the work, but we could also make food and goodies. I don't need any help, I need a bloody epiphany. Baked goods, sounds like... I mean... We know we're gonna succeed anyway, so... Baked goods. A few hours of baking couldn't hurt. In fact, they might help.
That's the spirit!
And we can feed everyone else. And hopefully help Nicholas as well. I'm only noticing this now, but who is the family on the fridge? We headed to the kitchen and saw that Katashi had already prepped everything. Flour and other ingredients were already on the bench. So what are we making? Cake.
Cupcakes.
That was close enough. Excellent. I could really go for one. Or a dozen right now.
What color icing do you like? I was thinking pink.
Pink's not bad. Icing, from what I remember, I haven't had any form of cake. Well, that's a lie. I was gonna say I haven't had a cake or cupcakes with icing for a while. So if memory serves, they all taste the same. It's just a matter of color preference. Because my cake of choice, fudge cake, chocolate fudge cake specifically. Can't beat chocolate fudge cake. I like pink. Yeah, pink's a good color.
A man comfortable with pink? I like it.
What's wrong with the color pink? I smiled as Katashi handed me a bowl, and we began mixing the batter.
I had something I wanted to ask.
Mixing the batter sounds like an interesting way to, like, obviously, indicate people are like talking and socializing. Speaking of talking, that I can't seem to do. What is it?
Tomorrow, if you are the vampire, will you make me your Bonnie?
No, that way you don't die with me. Of course, I can't think of anyone else I would rather team up with. Of course, but are you sure you wouldn't rather be Clyde? I just don't know yet. Let's stay positive and playful. I smile playfully at Katashi.
I'm versatile and could play either role.
Alright, Katashi, I smile back, equally playfully. Yeah, I can see you doing a well job. Probably meant to say good job. I don't know what I was aiming at. We're not a team to be messed with. I jousted in the air with my fist, as if it were a sword, and my words fumbled to the ground, as if it was attempting to fly, but could not. Katashi chuckled while he continued to bake. After an hour, he had finished up the cupcakes, but sadly, no epiphany came. I took the tray of cupcakes and headed to the lab, hoping to finally wrestle some answers from my parents' work. I don't know why I was going to say paperwork. I pulled out my parents' research once more and laid all the papers across the table, holding the watch in my hand. How do I connect to other dimensions? Honestly, the only thing I've noticed from all this is that you have to be near the black hole. I pressed the buttons again and hoping for different results, but once again it let out. But the left button made the green light spin 3 times. The green lights spin 3 times? What? And the right just made a loud buzz. Okay, so right is go. The right one is what we use to go. The left one is maybe a way to rotate between the dimensions, maybe? Come on, science. Give me a sign here. Nothing happened. Well, I mean, that's not true. The left button did make something happen, which we have not noted down yet. I continued to put my head against the wall as I was melted away like minutes. I mean, you're hitting your head against the wall. Of course it's going to time fly. You're going to concuss yourself. Especially if you're going to do it, like, with a strong hit. I opened my eyes to find my head nested in a mixture of research paper and icing. I must have fallen asleep while I was working. Or eating, since you were nested in icing. As I opened my eyes, they became awash in green light. The tiny lights were all lit up green. All green! I sprang to my feet and snatched the pocket watch up. Watch, it's all green. Adrenaline coursed through me. A breakthrough. Through my giddiness, I noticed the left button appeared to no longer be responsive, while the lights stayed solid green. What now? Obviously we save. We save and then we press the button, potentially die, or get a good ending like that weird volleyball one. I waited long enough for a breakthrough. With the next game being hours away, there's no time like the present. I pressed the right hand button and it made a clear chime. I watched the hands spin around faster and faster. I'm assuming it means spin around. One clockwise and the other anti-clockwise. The 2 little panels began spinning through numbers before finally stopping when both smaller clocks above reached 60. The left panel read 3 and the right read 6, so 36? Or is it like a horizontal and vertical, I guess, because it would need a third coordinate for a 3D space. Suddenly, sickness overcame me, and I felt like I can throw up. Where are we gonna wake up? I woke with a splitting headache. It felt like someone had dropped a grand piano on my head. As I opened my eyes, I could see the lab once again. I wondered what had happened. Nothing. Nothing. Still nothing. Maybe she was die right now. That must be why she wasn't responding. Did I? I clambered to my feet and sprinted out to the bridge. Is everyone gone? Is everyone missing? Captain? Nothing. Ooh, does no one exist? Is everyone already dead? Katashi? Empty. Nicholas? Silence except the slow dripping of water. Yoshiki? No one. I searched the ship top to bottom. Nothing. Oh, if Melody's here alone, that's gonna be sad. Suddenly, the ship's automated voice came over the loudspeaker. Warning. Approaching event horizon. 1 minute. You decided to crash us into the black hole? What? I ran to the bridge control panels and see the players with warnings. Did everyone abandon ship on the like escape pods? A warning, approaching event horizon, ETA 5 seconds. This wasn't supposed to happen. Panic took a hold of me. You have died. Okay then. That served less purpose than I thought it would have. Chapter 4. Pressing the button was incredibly risky. I don't know what would happen or how. It might even kill me, or worse, the entire crew. No, well, maybe the entire crew, but definitely you. I tried to calm myself down, but I could still feel the adrenaline coursing through me. Perhaps I needed someone with a calmer head, and I couldn't think of anyone better than Katashi. I returned the watch to my pocket and set off to find Katashi. I arrived and buzzed his intercom. Hoped he was an early riser kind of guy. Well, he has to be if he's agricultural, right? Agricultural? I think that's the best I'm ever going to pronounce it. After hearing nothing, I assumed that he was, in fact, not one of those guys. Okay, I had to think about that for a second. I pressed the intercom button once more, and for good measure, but to no avail. I turned to leave it when I appeared immediately in my path.
Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Good morning there, I.
Katashi is not in his quarters.
Yeah, because he'd be at his farm, I guess. Oh, isn't he?
No, he is at the farm.
Because he's the agricultural engineer. Oh.
I do hate to point out the obvious to you for fear that it might lower your self-esteem, but the crew locations are provided on your personal tablet.
Thank you for being helpful, I. You have not influenced my self-esteem at all. You've only just highlighted a simple mistake that we have made. Thank you for being so helpful, I. Yes, of course they are.
I will leave you to it then.
Okay, thank you. Bye. I sheepishly scurried to the farm, mentally scolding myself for forgetting even this basic information. At this perilous time, I couldn't afford any blunders like that. When I arrived, I found Katashi hard at work. Guess I was wrong about him not being an early riser. I don't like how stupid we are sometimes. Good morning.
Oh, newbie. Funny seeing you here.
I need your help. I wasn't aware you worked this early.
Of course I do. Food doesn't just grow on trees, you know.
I mean, you're right, it doesn't just grow on trees, but it does grow on trees. Wait, it doesn't? What? Where does our food come from then? Katashi staring at me almost like he wasn't waiting. He was waiting for me to understand something. What, did I say something stupid?
You're joking, right? Tell me you're joking, newbie.
I mean, I intended it as a joke. Did I make us even dumber? Yes, joking. Ha. Katashi looked alarmed. I was never the best at lying.
Newbie, most produce is grown on trees, bushes, or as small flowering plants.
Of course it is, I knew that. Katashi raised his eyebrows. His eyebrow at me, unconvinced.
Tell me then, newbie. Do carrots grow on trees?
Yes.
Would you mind helping me pick some then, considering your expertise in the field?
Expertise in the trees? I guess not. I followed Katashi to the orchards that lay between the farm and the eco-lounge.
Just place them in this basket here as you harvest them.
That's something I also find something about myself, really. I'm complaining how dumb we are, and yet I've clearly just picked the options that make us look like an idiot. I've put myself in these situations. I see that now. Will I change? Likely not. But am I going to complain about them? Certainly. Certainly going to complain. And whether you want to listen to that or not, I mean, for all I know, you could be just watching this on with me on mute and just casually, stare at Katashi's face while I monologue to myself. Just place them in he's already there. Katashi pointed to the basket at his feet, already containing a few carrots. Okay, where's the carrot trees? You can count on me. I weaved between all the trees in the entire orchard, but I was unable to find a single carrot hanging from any of the branches. Oh my god. Yep, I'm regretting this already. I poked my head around a tree and I saw Katashi rolling on the ground, doubled over in an agonizing laughter. What is it?
Carrots! Roll on the ground, newbie!
At least we made him laugh, right? That's the end. Well, yeah, in this trying time, we kept his spirits high. Okay, so he had caught me in my lie. Aye.
Oh, you always make me laugh.
You're welcome.
You should have just said you didn't know. I wouldn't have laughed at you. Well, not this much, at least.
That's the thing. What if we wanted you to laugh this much? I was raised in a shuttle. How was I to know? Katashi tried to speak, but was incoherent at this stage. He took easily 10 minutes to cease laughing fully. I stood there taking it in my stride, with only a small hint of red in my cheeks. Didn't we say earlier that we couldn't afford to waste time?
This is the first time I've seen you up this early. What's wrong?
The pocket watch. I pulled out to show Katashi. It glowed an unnatural green, in stark contrast to the natural greens of the plants that surrounded us.
Does that mean it's on?
Potentially. I think so.
So now what?
We press the button. You want to press the button with me? I mean, I could push the button.
Okay. And then what happens?
I don't know. I don't know.
You're asking me what to do when you don't even know what would happen if you push the button?
Well, didn't we also say in a different language? That's a different language. In a different timeline, that if we do something without observing it, it's not science. It's just reckless behavior. Give me some credit. I have a very rough idea. I assume it will allow the person holding it to change dimensions.
And if it doesn't?
Well, maybe it will start a stopwatch. Then that's years of research down the drain.
At least you get a nice alarm clock out of it.
Does it make an alarm noise? We haven't used it as an alarm yet. Haha, I'm sure that my parents will be happy with that outcome. Katashi just smiled playfully and shrugged on his shoulders.
Sorry that I can't offer any real advice or support here. I have no idea about all this physics and space stuff.
I mean, you do know some physics, I guess. Wouldn't it count? I don't know if agricultural things are related to physics or space, I guess. Because, because you are making a farm in space, so I guess you would need to know some things about space, right? That makes sense to you guys, right? Or am I just talking gibberish? I've enjoyed myself nonetheless.
Me too.
You've enjoyed myself, or you've enjoyed yourself? Katashi turned back to his harvesting. Would you like some help? Katashi smiled and shook his head, maybe a bit too quickly for my liking.
You have much more pressing issues than me. So why don't you go and work on that, and I will finish up here and work on your breakfast.
Cool. Can we have some tree carrots? Okay, I will. As I turned and left the farm, I heard Katashi yelling out after me.
Save the day, newbie! I'm counting on you!
No. What if I refuse? His support meant the words to me. They mean the words to me. I'm a wordsmith. Back in my quarters, I continued thinking through the problem, or my problem. Interchangeable, really, but it is the problem. I sat at the end of my bed, cradling the watch in my hands. Do we get another option to press the buttons? This watch could make all the difference, but what if it makes things go... What if it makes things worse? Can the universe just give me a sign, or better yet, the answer?
The answer is and always will be death.
I mean, in these type of games, correct, because we always have to get the bad endings to reveal the thing that we need in the true ending, or the best ending where everyone lives. I was so stalled that I almost fell off the end of my bed. Die, don't scare me like that.
It wasn't intentional. I was simply the universe giving you the answer.
I mean, for all we know, that could be the truth. It really could. You're not the universe. We don't know that.
No? Then what is?
Technically, isn't the universe just an explosion? I mean, that's why it's always expanding, because it's going outwards, because of the force that was made. And then there's smaller explosions inside that explosion. Well, it's...
Wishy-washy faith-based thoughts?
Is the universe faith-based? Like, wishy-washy I can understand, but faith-based, I guess? Because to my understanding of what faith is, it's believing in something that has not given you any sort of hint, reason, or rhyme to believe in. Like, if, for example, you saw a small dog trying to get a ball from a tree branch, and you believed it could, I think that would be faith. And sometimes that faith might pay off. It might, because there's definitely dogs who like jump off walls and stuff just to do that sort of thing. Well, no, but also kind of yes. I'd say kind of no, and just leave it at that, really.
So, you technically can't prove that I'm not the universe?
I mean, we can prove that you're an AI and a hologram. Those things are not the universe. So, technically. Yeah, but you already said technically, so I guess it kind of proves you right, I guess. Well, technically.
I'm the universe! Bow before me!
I'm the universe plus one, bow before me. I sighed as I made my way back to the end of my bed. Sure, you're the universe.
Then, as the universe, I have given you your answer. Death.
Does that mean kill everyone, or does it mean we die? I don't think that's an answer.
Isn't it? After all, it's always the final outcome. Nothing lasts forever.
No, it doesn't. I couldn't argue with her logic. I looked dreamily off into the distance.
Not even I will last forever.
What a nihilistic point of view. But, may as well use the time you've got. I would say this to Die, but Die would be like, you're right, let's kill everybody while we are alive. Right. So, change your subject. What are you doing here?
It is time for me to issue everyone with their fates.
Guess I'm not the vampire, but Katashi is, because that's the path we're on. Fates?
Are you the vampire, or aren't you?
No, I'm not. Well?
You are the vampire.
Oh, okay then. Really?
Yup, you're the lucky winner.
I didn't really think that being the vampire was a lucky thing here.
Oh, why not?
Because the numbers are stacked against me. It's like 1 versus 6. I'm at a massive disadvantage.
Oh, you're at an advantage.
Because we can make someone on our team? How exactly?
You know who the enemy is. The other 6 don't, and are going in blind.
That is actually a good point. They do not... Well, yeah, but I'm also the newest member, so they'd be the least likely to trust me. Except Katashi. I guess you're right. I sat for a moment, contemplating all possibilities. Because think about it, right? Captain's gonna pair up with Yoshiki. I guess that leaves Vlad with Melody. And that leaves Nicholas, Katashi, and myself. So Nicholas is gonna be left alone. And Nicholas is smart. He's kind of like the Donatello of the group. Is there any way, before I could finish my sentence, Dai had unceremoniously vanished. Moments later, I heard her through the ship's PA system.
Everyone has now been allocated their role. The first round will begin at 9 a.m. sharp. You have just under 2 hours to mingle and scheme. Eee, this is so exciting!
The PA cut off mid-squee. I felt quite overwhelmed. Where to start? The Bugger Watch was already a big enough concern, but now the new round of the deletion game had begun, and I was still just sitting there dumbfounded. So, Vampire, did I want to recruit a Clyde to the team? It was a risk to ask anyone. Was anyone actually worth it?
Are you there?
Vladimir's voice came in over my room's intercom. Yes, Vladimir, come in. Vladimir stormed into my quarters, looking quite flustered.
Are you?
The vampire?
Yes. Are you the vampire?
He's gonna admit it for us. I wasn't sure how to respond. I didn't expect someone to just straight up ask me. Well, my anonymity had lasted mere minutes.
Look, you don't have to tell me. But please, if you are, don't bite Melody.
Damn. I was planning to. Just then I could blackmail you into helping us. That would make it 3 versus 4.
I need her to team with humans to create babies. It's the only way to save her from being executed.
Yeah. I understand.
Promise me.
Vladimir, if I'm the vampire, I promise that Melody would be the last to be bitten. Vladimir sighed with relief.
Thank you.
It's okay, Vladimir. And if I do know who the vampire is, I will ask them to spare Melody. Vladimir launched himself at me, pulling me into a tight hug.
Thank you. I knew that I could count on you.
Vladimir's a good guy. He's dead most of the timeline, but like when we do see him, he trusts, he trusts us to keep the kids safe, which in these kind of situations, I guess is a kind of a trope of mine, to keep the kids safe, because there's always a kid character. One day, the kid will be the bad guy, and the kid will get me killed. But he held me for a brief few moments before pulling away. I could see that my words were enough for him, as he made his way out of my quarters much calmer than when he had arrived. Melody aside, I needed to worry about my own game plan. Should I risk my position and ask someone to be my Clyde? Before I even got the serious consider an option, I appeared, disrupting my thoughts.
We need to speak.
Oh, this is another one for putting in the devices. Good morning,
I do not have long.
So
Come to the server room.
What are the passwords? Right, okay. Jump. So that's a good ending that kills us. Don't jump. Your death. Jump. We got a good ending. My death. Per. So we start with Per, I think. Hold on, we switch to a girl. So I'm assuming maybe these will be the start, and then we go back like across like a sentence. So Per. Aspera. Okay, so we have Per Aspera, so I'm assuming something Per something Aspera something. Because like we have these here, these two. But we don't. So yeah, our gender apparently affects what we learn. So anyway,
You always.
we can't skip this. Anyway, I have no idea. And then we see Die getting changed, I bet.
What am I? Just get out. Sheesh. Can't a girl get a little...
I reached out the server room flustered. I had already sweated through my clothes when given the pressure to deactivate the code. And then to see Die getting dressed didn't help. She did that intentionally, most likely, because, like, why would an AI need to do that, like, to need to get a change of clothes? So, clearly it's just to mess with us. I hastily made my way back to my room. Deactivation code aside, I had to focus on the issue at hand. Do I ask someone to be my Clyde? 2 heads better than 1. I'm safe, because, like, this is gonna be interesting. We don't need this anymore, I guess. No, I'm gonna do it alone first. It's not worth the risk. Besides, it means if we die, we don't bring anyone with us. I didn't feel like I could trust anyone enough to fight and possibly die alongside me. I decided to stay in my quarters until the game was called and, from there, hope for the best. Half an hour before the game was due to start, Katashi was at my door demanding entry.
Newbie, please let me in!
I let Katashi in and he crossed the room, taking a seat at the couch.
Newbie, are you the vampire?
No. Whatever happened to Subtle? So many people were just asking me straight out. No.
That is wonderful news. Neither am I.
How's this wonderful?
Because we can breed right off the bat and know for sure we'll have 1 point each.
But people will be suspicious. Oh yeah. My mind raced. I had just lied to Katashi. Now if I breed with him, he would die if I won.
I'm going to go speak to some of the other crew to work out who the vampire is so we can avoid them.
Before I could respond, Katashi left me sitting alone and guilt-ridden. I mean, it's his own fault. He's not listening to us. What do? I held my hands. I held my head in my hands. I didn't know how to fix this.
Testing. Ahem. Can I please have all crew report to the hallway outside of the dining hall for the beginning of this round's deletion game, Vampire Children?
In the hallway, the rest of the crew had already assembled. I feared as I arrived. With that, I'll call it there. Hopefully you've had fun and enjoyed the video. I know I have. And hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.